Hello everybody, this is Goji73 here with a figure review. Now that the NECA Deluxe Knife Head has been reviewed and put out of the way, here is the next figure that I bought that comes from the NECA company. So let's pull her out. And also, this is one kaiju I am very grateful that they were able to make. Otachi from Pacific Rim. Now first off, history, like I said moments ago, this is a kaiju that comes from Pacific Rim, so she only has appeared in one movie, but in that movie, she is one of the last few kaiju that emerges from the breach. She, along with Leatherback, wind up emerging in Hong Kong, where they battle against Crimson Typhoon, Cherno Alpha, and Striker Eureka. Otachi emerges first, and she battles against Crimson Typhoon, and she winds up destroying that Jaeger. She also battles Cherno Alpha, but he winds up being destroyed by Leatherback. And she also fights Striker Eureka, but Leatherback winds up dealing with that Jaeger, as well as Gypsy Danger, while Otachi winds up going off to attack Hong Kong, where she is later confronted by Gypsy Danger, and she is ultimately defeated by him too. And that's just about it for a rundown of her history. Now first off, detail. Now, unlike the past few Pacific Rim figures I have been reviewing, this one is of a completely brand new sculpt. No knife head model that's used for her. Everything is 100% brand spanking new. And I think I might have to pull my camera back a little bit so I can show you just what is different about her. So if you'll excuse me just a quick moment. There we go. Don't mind the little sticker at the bottom there. Now, first off, detail. Like the rest of the kaiju reviewed in the Pacific Rim line, everything about her is nicely captured, very nicely sculpted. Everything on her looks very nicely captured. Sorry if I'm sounding redundant. I'm sorry if there's a little dust here. I haven't touched her in a while, so I apologize for that. But anyway, one thing I noticed that's kind of a little nitpick is that this on her chest. If you look closely, that is actually scars on her chest. The reason for this is because these scars are from Crimson Typhoon when he uses the thundercloud formation. And while that's neat, at the same time it's a little distracting because that's not her original design. She gets that later in the film, so I thought she'd be given a more cleaner design. But that's just a minor nitpick. Personally, I would have liked it without that, but oh well. And also, real quickly here, I'm going to zoom in. Sorry if I'm really shaky in this one. There's just so much to cover in this review, and I don't think I'll be able to show you. I'm sorry. But, basically, that is her acid sac, which she uses to fire acid from her mouth with. And even, like, in the face, too. It's very nicely sculpted. And, unfortunately, I can't seem to record this, so I apologize, but, yeah. You get the basic idea. Like the rest of the Pacific Rim kaiju, she is very nicely captured, which, again, is a really nice job. Now, superpowers, because she has a few, I'm going to cover that in a later video, but let's skip on to articulation. Like the rest of the Pacific Rim figures, she has quite a few. Both her front arms move up and down on a swivel, I think. And so do her front claws. They swivel like this as well. I don't know if this is a hinge or a ball joint or some other thing I'm forgetting. And her mouth is segmented. It opens up in two spots, like this. And you can see that's her tongue right there. And the thing is, this figure actually comes with one accessory. And that's her acid spit, which you can see here. But, yeah. It's a neat little thing. Like, if you can remove... There's a real tiny... Like, you see this little turquoise bit in her mouth, if my camera can even focus on that? You can remove that and you can put in the acid spit to simulate her spitting her acid, but it's a little hard to work out, so unfortunately it would take a while to pull it out in this review, so I apologize, but you get the idea. Just going to shut that here. And back on articulation, her head is a ball joint, so she can move it like this, as well as her neck, like... It's a swivel, like this as well. Both legs have 3 joints as well. This one moves on a swivel like this. Here. And I want to say this one too, but but it's like the toughest of the. Okay, I guess I can't. But if you can move that one, that would be the toughest one to get. And the tail, which is the best part of this figure, it's segmented, just like the Monsters Arts. You can pose it up, you can pose it in a straight line, like I like to. And the pincer at the end, and here's one of the best parts about it, it's a hinge, so you can open and close it all at the same time to make it look like she's grabbing something, which is really, really neat. So props to NECA for making this, because this is, you know, I said on record, I did say on record that, you know, I wanted to see them make an Otachi, and they certainly delivered with the land version here. So, thank you, NECA, for that, but I'll get to that later. And now let's get on to sizing. Seeing as I do have the Kaiju she is paired up with, and she is seen alongside him, let's pull him out as well. Leatherback. And I hope I can... Yeah, never mind. Sorry. Anyways, you can see just how big she is, because for a time being, Leatherback was the biggest Kaiju in the line. Otachi, she may not be as tall, but she's certainly the longest of the Kaiju, and this is just a quick comparison of the two together, because most of the time they are paired together. And because I also have the Jaeger that she does fight against, let's pull him out as well. Gypsy Danger, and I think I'm going to have to strain his legs a little bit. But yeah, much like Leatherback, which I forgot to mention moments ago, this is captured pretty nicely. Otachi is pretty big in comparison to Gypsy, and it looks like she is about the right size. I'll have to pull out another figure of her to review to show you just how well she fits into scale, but if I can simulate it pretty well here, let me see if I can. Yeah, I'd say she can. So yeah, I guess scaling is pretty nicely done here. And so, that just about does it for this review. History, she only appears in one movie. Detail is nicely captured. Articulation is really, really good. I'm not sure about the tiny legs, though. I'd suggest you be a little more careful with them, but I'm not too sure, so I'm sorry. And scaling is pretty nicely captured for the PR line. And so, I'd have to give this figure a 9 out of 10. It is undoubtedly one of, if not the best Kaiju in the Pacific Rim line, both in the film and in the NECA figure form. So, like I said earlier, thank you NECA for making this Kaiju. Wish you could have made at least one or two more before you entered your line, but regardless, I am glad that you made my favorite Kaiju when you were still making these. And so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this review. That's it for today's figure review. If you like what you see, or what I make, and wish to support me and help me create content faster or more efficiently, you can help me by supporting me on Patreon, and possibly get a video of your own made for you, or win several other prizes. You can also help me by supporting me here on YouTube, as well as Facebook and Twitter for anything else I may make in the future. And so that's it. I'll see you all next time.